Hey guys, I have a new backdrop, not permanently. I'm just in the basement right now, because my dad is upstairs, and originally I thought that it would be better if I was down here, so like he couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear him because he's watching football right now. But then I came down here, and as soon as I like put my camera up, I could like hear him, like he like coughed or something. That story was funnier in my head. But yeah, I'm down here, and two, I have to get my laundry, so I was like, well, I'm going down there anyways, and hopefully this won't be like super long. I actually filmed a vlog. I know I always say this, but I filmed a vlog like, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, because I think it was right after the presentation I gave in Tulsa, virtually. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's when yeah, that would make sense. But then it was like very scattered and kind of long, and so I ended up just not posting it, because I was like, there's some things that I want to edit out, and it wasn't anything content-wise, it was just like gaps in me talking because I was tired when I filmed it, and I know that I have those a lot in the vlogs because I don't edit them really. I generally don't edit them. But that one I was like, okay, these are like a little too lengthy. And I had, oh wait, no, so that wasn't 2 weeks ago, that was the last. Okay, now I'm remembering things better. It was last Monday. Yeah, that's not super relevant, but I don't know, maybe I do have it in my Google Photos. I deleted it, but it may have saved there, so I may share it because I did talk about an epiphany I had that was pretty significant in respect to like EMDR. But today I wanted to kind of more just like vent, and I want to give a trigger warning for, I'm just gonna like very briefly reference like eating disorder related stuff. It's not something that I'm currently struggling with, but like I'm using it as kind of an analogy for something else that I'm dealing with. So yeah, I wanted to say that real quick. But yeah, I just want to give some updates that I gave in that video, but of course I didn't post it. And then yeah, just like kind of vent about how I've been feeling today. And I don't think I'm gonna give an EMDR update because it would take a long time, and I'm hoping this isn't super long. But the first thing is I cut my hair, which you can't really tell because it's up right now. I have like a little nub. But yeah, so that was something that I wanted to do for a while, but I didn't because, I don't know, I was scared to, well, I do know. That's why I brought it up. Okay, when I was 19, or no, I was 18 at this point because I was a freshman in college, and when I was a teenager, I experimented with my hair a lot, like a lot of other people. Nothing like too extreme, but I just remember cutting my own hair a lot, dyeing it, stuff like that, because it was fun. And a lot of the times it was like a way to externally signify stepping into some new kind of phase of my life. And when I was 18, I got a pixie cut. Or I guess like my version of a pixie cut. It was very short. It's the shortest I've ever had my hair, and I'd wanted to get a cut like that for forever, but I was too scared, and I finally did it when I was 18. And that was fall of 2019, so that was right before COVID hit. And so it was the last haircut I got before the pandemic, and it was also the last haircut I got before I got PTSD. And so the last time that I had like really short hair was like right before everything happened. And even though I've always felt more like myself with short hair, I was scared to cut it, even though I really wanted to, because I was scared of like looking in the mirror and like seeing this version of myself that didn't exist anymore. And I also kind of felt like I didn't, sound weird, but I felt like I didn't deserve to look like myself. Thankfully, when I did, so it took me a little bit of time to like work my way up to like cutting my hair, but I eventually did that, and there was no like negative emotions at all. It was actually really nice, and I love it now, and I'm still kind of learning how to fix it because it's like short enough. Like I know I have it in ponytail right now, but I have like front pieces that I have to pin back because they're too short. So yeah, but that's been fun, and I've saved money on conditioner, so that's nice because my hair was like super long. But yeah, that's one thing. The other thing I was going to talk about was the showing in Tulsa. So that was almost 3 weeks ago tomorrow. But yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I just, there was okay, let me back up a little bit. So I met someone at NCUR, the conference I went to back in April. Her name was Mona. She came to speak to me after the film, after I showed my film, and we connected there and we kept in contact over the past couple months, and we're still in contact. And she's the one actually that I've been working with to hopefully get some showings next year, because she is like on the board for Tulsa's NAMI chapter, and so we're hoping to do something with that. And additionally, she is like pretty well networked, and she and someone else, she introduced me to someone else who like wanted to, that's where like the idea of making continuing education credits for therapists came from, like surrounding the film. I know I explained that in like a really poor way, but yeah, so I have been working with her like on a couple different things, and over the summer she asked me if I'd be interested in presenting at their undergrad research retreat that they hold every year at the college that she works at, because she is an assistant professor at Tulsa Community College, and she's also the co-coordinator of undergrad research. That's actually why she was at NCUR. And so I was like, yeah, of course. And so basically they kicked off the retreat with a showing of Paper Birds, and then we did what was an interview, a live interview. Mona interviewed me, and then we opened the audience up for like Q&A. So my portion was like about an hour, and then of course they had other stuff like going on for the retreat. But yeah, that went over really well, and I was like pleasantly surprised that I didn't come off, I don't think I came off as like a huge dumbass, which was nice because I didn't know how that was gonna go. But yeah, it was really cool just to like have that space and also like talk about undergrad stuff, because it was something that I got to talk a lot about was like how I kind of felt insecure about stepping into that field. I can really hear my dad. I hope he can't hear me. With like, because I never thought of what I was doing as like undergrad research, because I always kind of associated with the sciences. So I'm hoping that like by talking about that, kind of like talking about my feelings surrounding that, maybe people will be like more, people in the audience will be like more apt to like explore what they want to, even if it's outside of like the sciences. So yeah, that was a cool event, and thank you Tulsa for having me. That was really cool. But yeah, what else was I gonna say? I don't know if there's anything on the docket for 2024 other than like what I've already mentioned. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say, this is like kind of completely unrelated. But I think I talked about this in a vlog, and I don't know, I just, for some reason, I feel the need to talk about this. But I'd mentioned a couple weeks ago about like getting my first like photojournalist gig, documenting Afghan refugees in Lancaster, because Lancaster is actually like one of the capitals in at least like the US that they like, a lot of people come there for refuge, which is really cool that is happening like somewhere so close to home. And then there's a couple, I mean there's a ton of like really great organizations in Lancaster, but there's one that I like got connected with through a friend of a friend, and I was supposed to do that, like do like a storytelling project for them. And I got like connected with the people that I was supposed to be, who was supposed to connect me to the people I'd be interviewing, but I haven't heard back from them yet. So I don't know if that's happening anymore, but if it is, I'll share about it. But I just wanted to say that because I don't know if people will be like, huh, she never followed up on that. So yeah, I'm not really sure where that stands. It'd be really cool to still get to do that and to help out. But again, I'm not sure. Maybe they don't have the need anymore. So yeah, that is the other like kind of like to-do thing to talk about, I guess. So now like the more emotional like feeling side of things. Today this is kind of like an untraditional vlog of what I have been doing, because I feel like the past couple of vlogs I've been like kind of going into EMDR and talking about my experiences and like talking about how I've grown. But today I just want to kind of like really quickly, candidly talk about how I've been doing lately. Well, lately I've been doing, sorry, this is all over the place. I'm just kind of like talking and hoping I find the sentence along the way. I've been actually doing like pretty good. Today I'm having though like definitely like a little bit of an off day, more so than usual. And lately I've just been feeling like really like a failure. like that has really crept up on me for some reason. I think with like healing, things have kind of come in waves. Like one issue comes up and you address it, and then another one comes up. And again, with like EMDR, I haven't even gotten to like the reprocessing yet, so I feel like I'm gonna have to go through everything that's come up again. But at least I've kind of dipped my feet in a little bit. But it seems like the theme of the week this week is like, again, feeling like a failure. Just because I'm not where I thought I'd be at 22. And it's funny because I didn't even have like concrete plans. It was more so just when I was a teenager, I like lived in a fantasy world and I had like such big expectations for myself. But it's funny because, like I said, they weren't really concrete plans. It wasn't like, I'm gonna graduate high school and then I'm gonna go to this college and get a degree and then I'm gonna do this. Like, it wasn't really laid out like that. It was more so just when I was a teen, like stepping into, again, like this fantasy world where I was this person at this age, like doing all these cool things and like really successful. And it was pretty like, I feel like specific nightmare, or not nightmare. I'm thinking of nightmares because I've been having a lot of nightmares. Like daydream. That's what I meant to say. Where I had like, I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing to go into the details, but I don't know. I just like had this daydream that I would step into. And I kind of did that to survive because I was just not in a good place mentally. And so that really helped me get through. And it gave me something to hope for. And even though I didn't like, I really did not think I was going to make it out of high school. I didn't think I was going to make it out of college, at least in like the beginning of college. And so I'm here now, like past my, I don't know, preconceived expiration date. And it's kind of weird because I'm like, I don't know what to do. And especially the fact that like I'm not, again, where I thought I would be, even though where I thought I would be is like completely unrealistic, like not attainable at all. I feel like I've checked every realistic box and achieved like every realistic goal that I can at this time. And yet, yeah, I just still feel like I'm falling short and I don't know how to, I'm still learning how to cope with that. And accepting that like just because I didn't meet those high expectations doesn't mean that I failed. But I'm just trying to think of like another way to spin that because like that's basically what it is, right? Like if you don't meet a goal, like you failed it. I don't know. That's not a philosophy I want to live by, but I'm just kind of like looking at things through like a very objective, if not kind of negative view. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, too, and I just all around, like, I feel like lately too, I've been on social media a lot, I've been on my phone a lot. Like, this is the first time in my life where I kind of feel addicted to my phone, which is so embarrassing to admit. Even though, I don't know, that's something that a lot of people struggle with. Because even though I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think I've done a good job up until this point, like keeping like a pretty decent balance between like spending time on my phone versus not. Because usually when I was on my phone, there's always some kind of purpose. Like even though I do post a lot and like utilize social media a lot, I generally wasn't just like scrolling for hours on end. Like I would put my post out and then I would like be done. Whereas now I'm not even really putting content out that much. I'm just like scrolling and doom scrolling. And I know why. It's because it's weird. It's even though it like negatively impacts me, like I can like really easily connect those dots and like see the way that my time on my phone is negatively impacting me and how consuming certain content negatively impacts me. But I'm still using it to like escape reality, even though reality isn't bad, but I just kind of feel anxious, I guess. And so I've gotten into this pattern of just like going on my phone and scrolling, and I'm not even really like taking in the content that I'm seeing. I'm just like stuck in the repetitive action of scrolling. And as like a consequence of that, which again, this is something that I haven't dealt with a ton before, but like comparing myself to like what I see online, and especially this is gonna sound really weird because I've never cared about this before, but like comparing myself to celebrities, which is funny because I've never done that because I've always, I don't know, I guess I always had that knowledge that like that's not real life, and I still do, but I'm still comparing myself to people who are my age who are doing like much better than me, I guess. And I guess that's where those two kind of things intersect, like how I've been feeling about myself lately and the time that I've been spending online. And kind of like going off of that intersection, I've just been feeling like a lot worse about myself in a lot of ways. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's it's a weird dichotomy because in some ways I've been feeling a lot better, more at peace, more grateful. But at the same time, it's like while you have like these heightened levels of peace and joy, it's kind of like, I don't know, having these other heightened like negative issues too. And I guess that makes sense because I can't take credit for coining this quote, but I've heard someone say once that like your feelings are kind of like a faucet, like it's all coming from the same place. If you turn off the faucet, then like nothing's coming out, hot or cold. So it's kind of like that faucet has been turned back on, which is a good thing because I've been feeling good things. But it's also like, okay, yeah, I have to like address this stuff now. And so in that respect, I kind of think of it as a good thing that I'm like dealing with these things, because before it was probably just there and I wasn't addressing it and it was manifesting itself in other ways. But yeah, lately I just feel like not pretty enough, not successful enough, not smart enough, not special enough. Just a very long list of things. And I'm not saying this to like get people to be like, no, that's not true. I mean, of course, I always like appreciate the encouragement, but like I'm not sharing it to like fish for compliments. It's generally just like I wanted to be candid and like share this stuff because I know other people are probably dealing with it. And it feels good to be open about it because like authenticity is like something that I value a lot. As hopefully is like evident in my work and who I try to be as a person. And so when I'm like actively, I don't know, acting on that, it makes me feel better about myself. So yeah. And yeah, that's the other thing too, like it kind of goes back to how I feel about my future and just being like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it like career-wise, like stuff like that, which is stupid. Like I know that's like a big jump to make, but just like the dreams that I have, like I don't feel smart enough. Like I don't feel creative enough or special enough, or interesting enough or charming enough. And it's kind of like, damn, like I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's all I had to say. I feel like there was more to that. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling lately. But the good thing, and this is kind of touching on EMDR, is like before I would just kind of take that and get into this like negative cycle and kind of spiral out. And I'm not saying I never kind of take things and let it eat away at me a little bit. Like I'm not saying I never feed into that cycle. But lately it's like my brain doesn't jump to worst case scenarios. Just like, okay, like I'm feeling this right now. And I either just kind of feel it and like observe it, or I write about it. I think I don't know, I'll probably write some. I told myself I was gonna write something about that, so I probably will. Or draw about it, like stuff like that. So that has been a really comforting improvement. Because it's very easy to like, I think too, with people who are kind of like stuck in fight or flight, like it's very easy to just like let your emotions consume you because you've never known really how to regulate your emotions. And that's something that I've been doing in EMDR a lot. But yeah, hopefully we'll start reprocessing soon. We're like inching our way to that. Oh, the analogy I was gonna make with my eating disorder. So I've been in recovery for almost 2 years now, I think, which is good. Longest stretch I've ever been in recovery. For those of you who don't know, I struggled with bulimia off and on for like 6.5 years, and overall just like disordered eating. And I'm not saying I don't still struggle with like the body image side of stuff and like the food. I don't struggle as much with like the actual like physical patterns of that. But anyways, I used to have this mindset, and I still kind of do, I guess. It's like it's still there, because I've never really, like I said, I've tackled like the physical side of things, but like the mental side I haven't as much. So those like internal beliefs that fed that eating disorder are still there. But I remember having this belief that like the smaller I was, the more people would love me and the more that I was worthy of love, which is why like weight gain was a hard thing, because I felt like I was less worthy of love, and like I was like, I don't know what the right word is. I guess that's like a good way to put it. I guess that's like what the belief was. Just feeling, yeah, like people would be like, would love me less if I gained weight. And like that I was like cooler and like more alluring, like the smaller I got. But what was I gonna say? That related to the other stuff I was talking about, but now I like can't remember where I was going with that. Oh, success. That's how it relates. I have like that same dynamic with success. Like I feel like the more successful I am, the more deserving of love I am, the more love I'll get. And I feel like if I'm not successful, that I'm not deserving of love and relationships. So that's interesting. I know that's a shocker, right? But yeah, I'm working on that. It'll be interesting to see how that transforms through therapy, because I definitely have hope that it's going to. Like, I don't feel like that's a belief that I'm stuck with for the rest of my life. But I do wonder where its roots lie. I think that'd be interesting to like find out. And I wonder who I'm gonna be and like how I'm gonna create when I don't have that belief system anymore. Because that's not why, the reason I do what I do. Like I genuinely am driven by like passion and wanting to like make change and help people. But that definitely plays a role in like how I feel about what I do, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's everything. I'm sorry for saying a lot. I know that I swear I can be more like poignant. I think I said that wrong. I don't know. I guess I just feel like I don't really have to try for the vlogs because it's just me talking. There it is again. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful and kind of relatable. But yeah, stay tuned for updates, I guess. I don't know if there's any coming soon, but I'll let you guys know if there are.